What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is your review for Power. Excuse me. Season 6, episode 5. So look, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. So look, all right, I'm just gonna talk about it. A lot went down once again. So we start this episode off with Ghost meeting with Tate and with what's her name, Francesca, Franny. We're gonna call her Franny. Meeting with the political consultant, and James is basically saying, "Look, I'm gonna have to back up off of this. Like, I'm gonna let Tate have this. You know, my past is gonna continuously come up." And I just don't want to, be a deterrent. And of course, Tate is ready for it. Tate's like, well, thank you so much. We appreciate it, James. We thank you, James. We thank you. The political consultant was like, whoa, 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 not so fast. She said, the polling that we did, we noticed that there was a spike up after the press conference where the dude called you out for being a drug dealer. And we really can finesse this and turn this into something that is going to work for us. And Tate is like, nah. This is my campaign. I don't need his help. He's trying to be real polite about it, but he basically saying no, hell no, no. And Ghost is like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm a bow out. The candidate doesn't need me, and he's important. That's who's important. And so she was basically like, well, who's going to run it? Like, who's going to carry the bulk? And, Tate was like, well, I can do that. I am the candidate. So they back off or whatever. She ain't feeling it. Honey. Later on, I'm gonna go and knock this out. Later on in the episode, Tate is he must have had some sort of press conference where he bombed, and they're reaching out to Ghost like, look, we need you to come back. And he ends up having lunch with dinner, whatever, with Franny. And they have a good little conversation. They're gonna end up screwing before this is over with. But they have a good little conversation, and she says, look, he's not gonna come to you and tell you he needs your help, but he needs your help. And Ghost was like, well, let me think about it, because, like, for real, I really ain't trying to do this. And they kind of tell each other their story. He asked her, why, you clearly don't like Tate. Why are you here? Why are you trying so hard? And she explained to him, look, when that scandal went down with my husband, nobody cared that it didn't have nothing to do with me, but it was affecting me, and they wanted me to resign. So basically, this is my second chance. I'm pushing so hard for Tate because I need a win. I don't care that I don't like him. I need a win. And they flirty a little bit. Sax. Let me tell you how pissed off, how I'm just over Sax. So we see Sax meeting with the police detective, and he is just trying so hard. He just wants Ghost to be Angela's killer so bad, and she's telling him, look, it doesn't make sense. The evidence doesn't line up. And she shows him how Ghost had to be facing Angela when Angela got shot. He was like, yeah, but then he turned around and he saw who it was. Either that or he hired the hit. He knows who did it. He's the one. And she's like, maybe he isn't. Like, she said, have you even considered the possibility that she's not the one? So then we see him meet up with Dre. And he's basically putting the squeeze on Dre. He done bought Dre's daughter so Dre can see his daughter but can't get to his daughter. Like, he on some real shit. And, he tells Dre, look, if Ghost is not letting you in, then I can't use you. You are no help to me, and you ain't gonna never get your daughter back. Like, it's just so... And, of course, Dre is gonna work overtime now. And then he throws a couple of bones at him. I think he told him... What did he tell him? He told him something. He told him about Jason. He told him about the whole situation with Jason or whatever. And he was like, why didn't you tell me about this before? And he was like, cause, like, I don't know. I didn't think it was important or whatever. But I still think, I don't know. I'm still not convinced that Ghost didn't see those feds show up at that witness's house. But maybe not, because he didn't do nothing about it this episode. And he seemed to believe what Dre was saying. So maybe he didn't see it. But if he didn't, I'm just, that's not believable writing for me. But anyway. So then Sax gets in trouble with the boss. The boss then figured out that Sax called the feds back from going into the stash house when they thought they had Ghost there to kill the woman. And Sax basically lets them know he doesn't admit how he knows all of this, but he admits that basically they know that Ghost didn't kill the woman. He gave the woman money instead. He was like, how you know that? But what it did was it convinced that woman to be even more determined to snitch on Ghost. Like, that money did not stop her. It did the exact opposite. And Saxon's boss is like really pissed off with him because when it's all, I ain't gonna get into all the back and forth because that whole piece got on my nerves because I'm like, it's no way in the world Sax supposed to still have a damn job. Like, he's just not. He's not supposed to have a job, and he damn sure ain't supposed to have nothing to do with this case. And that's the one thing that the police detective brought up. She was like, there's all these people keep ending up dead, and there's one common denominator. He was like, St. Patrick. She was like, and you. Like, everybody around you keeps dying. So then they were talking about Proctor's wife. He was like, well, I got the inside scoop because Proctor's wife is going to get me what I need. And he was like, oh, the one that died yesterday? And so they decided they're going to go see Proctor. And he talks him into going with him. He was like, let me go with you, whatever. So they go over to Proctor's house. This is stuff that pisses me off. There is no way in hell that you gonna convince me that Proctor is this great attorney that you've been trying to convince me that Proctor is, and Proctor would have let them people in his house without a warrant. Ain't no way in hell. They gonna come in there and Sax gonna say, I need to go to the bathroom. And at first Proctor said no, but then they just stood there. But my thing was, let them stand there. What the hell? They don't have no warrant. They don't have any reason to come in your house. You told them that your wife just died or ex-wife just died and you were in bereavement. Like, put their asses out your house. They have no paperwork. And there's no lawyer that I have ever met that would let the police roam through their house, guilty or not, without a piece of paper. But of course, Sax goes to the back. He ends up going in the daughter's room and getting the unicorn off the book bag. So now he got the recording of Sax letting his wife die. We'll get back to that. So let's go on over here to Tasha. Tasha's in the car with Tommy. They getting high. They doing what they do. And Tasha's basically letting Tommy know that, she needs some help. That, yeah, she got the daycare, but it's going to be a while before it starts making money, and she needs money now. Like, I'm really trying to figure out why Tasha is so strapped for cash. If Ghost is paying her child support, and I can't believe that she ain't had no money. Anyway, whatever. They making it seem like Tasha about to get put out of her house. Like, come on. You're not making me believe these storylines. Like, I don't believe that Ghost is not giving her money. I believe Ghost isn't giving her as much money as she wants. But you're not going to sit here and convince me that this woman is about to be, there's a part where they show her trying to return stuff back to the store. And I'm like, stop it. Like, you're not going to make me believe that this woman has to return stuff. Like, it's not that bad, Tasha. But all right, whatever. All right. So, she tells Tommy that she needs help. So Tommy's like, well, you know what? I got you, Tasha. I got you. And she was like, thank you, Tommy. She said, we can launder so much money through here. And he was like, whoa. I ain't going into business with you. Keisha ain't feeling that. Plus, Keisha said I could use the salon to send money through the salon. You taught her well. I'm just saying I could give you some money. And Tasha was like, that is not a long-term solution. Like, it'll help me out right now, but I'm going to turn around and need that money again. And he was like, he said, yeah, but that's the best I can do. Like, that's all I got for you. Like, I can't go into business with you. Keisha's just not going to have it. And, and Tasha was like, well, damn. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? So we see her at the daycare. One of her customers or clients, I guess, anyway, she's late, like very late. Basically, her fee is $100. That's how late she was. I think she was over 2 hours late. So her fee was like $100. And it's evident from the conversation that the girl is a stripper. And she like, look, the money I made, last night, I got to pay rent with. But I promise you I'll pay you double. If you let me slide tonight, I'll bring you $200 tomorrow. And, Tasha lets her slide. That's important. I'll get back to why that's important. Tasha lets her slide. But as she's leaving out of the daycare, and again, I just don't understand these things. she's leaving out of the daycare, and she pretty much gets pulled up on by the neighborhood muscle. And he basically tells her, you know in the neighborhood, but you didn't clear with me. You gonna have to pay protection. And she was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I got security. Oh no, that wasn't a request. And basically, you owe me a band tomorrow, and you owe me that. I don't know if he said every week, every month, whatever. And if it's not, if you don't have my money for me tomorrow, then basically, it'd be a shame to see this thing go up in smoke. So Tasha is just like looking at, and in my mind, I'm thinking, all you have to do is drop Tommy's name. Forget Ghost. You ain't even got to forget Ghost. Drop Tommy's name. You know what I mean? And how this man don't know who she is. Anyway. So there's that. All right. Tariq and his situation. Y'all, Tariq got his little comeuppance in this episode, but I couldn't even be happy about it. So Tariq is playing chess with old girl at the beginning of the episode. And they're talking about chess strategy, right? And it becomes important. And she keeps telling him that basically, I'm going to always beat you because you're too busy playing defense. You're not paying attention to your offense. Or vice versa, however they were talking it. But he ends up beating her. And he was like, yeah, you didn't even see it coming. And she was like, okay, all right. So she was like, so he gets a text from Vincent. Vincent's like, where's my delivery? Like, where's my delivery, dude? And he's like, well, she's like, you got to take that. He was like, yeah. She was like, all right, well, I'm out. She was like, and, when I'm going to get my re-up? And he was like, yeah, I got you, whatever. So, of course, he still ain't got them they re-up. So, on her way out the door, she sends a text saying, I think the competition is out, but I'll keep an eye on him. And I said, I didn't see that coming now. A lot of this I saw coming, but her being a double agent, I did not see coming. Now, we never found out who she's really working for, and I feel like it's going to be somebody we didn't see coming, but I don't know who she was really working for, but clearly all of this was a setup with Tariq just to figure out what Tariq's move was and who he was working for and all of that. So she ends up following Tariq. Now, Tariq is out of drugs. And remember, he stole some drugs from Tommy, but Tommy then took them back from him. So he really doesn't have any. So he ends up buying a bunch of baby aspirin. And in his mind, they look the same as the real drugs. So he going to cut the real drugs with the baby aspirin, and that's what he delivers to Vincent. But while he's working in one of the classrooms. He done hid his drugs in one of the classrooms, and he's in the classroom mixing up his stuff. Oh, girl is looking. So she sees exactly where he got his drug stash, and she sees exactly what he's doing with the drugs. And the girl name is Ramona, not Francesca. I'm sorry, the political consultant, her name Ramona. I don't know where I got Francesca from, but her name Ramona. So back over to Ghost. Now, Drada went back to Ghost and basically was like, look, let me in on the Jason situation. Ghost was like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. And he brings up a good point. He said, look, I'm not going to work for Jason. You ain't going to work for Jason either. He said, why not? Like, that'll be the answer to your question. That'd be the answer to your problem, because then you won't have to get your hands dirty, but then you giving Jason what he wants. He said, look, let's put this together. You're working for the feds. If the feds find out that you're working for Jason, we're both going to go to jail. If Jason finds out that you're working for the feds, we're both going to die. Those aren't odds that I'm happy with. And Dre was like, yeah, you got a point. Like, he said, well, what you going to do about it? And then that's when they kind of roll out. I didn't see where there was a solution at that moment. So then we see Proctor roll up on Ghost and basically tell Ghost, look, the witness has flipped, and you need to do something about it. The witness has flipped, because that's when they came to his house. That's one of the things they told him when they came to his house, was that the witness, not only did she take Ghost's money. Now, mind you, the feds know that the woman then took Ghost's money because Sachs told them. And so they know that the witness is compromised. But of course, nobody gives a damn that the witness is compromised at this point. And that's why I said this whole situation is just ridiculous at this point. But Proctor goes to Ghost and basically tells Ghost, you need to kill the witness. Like, she's going to say she saw your face. Like, she is going to change her story from saying that she only recognizes your voice to saying she saw you. Ghost basically tells Proctor, nah, I'm not going to handle it that way. If she want to testify, then oh well, she going to testify. Because, of course, in Ghost's mind, he's not going to kill that witness because he told Angela he wasn't going to do it. And Angela told him, you going to kill her. Like, I know you're going to do it. So he's not going to kill that witness. If it costs him his freedom, it just costs him his freedom. So then Proctor goes to Tommy. And Tommy was like, oh, look at you. Okay, Proctor. Like, oh, now, since when did you come to our side of things? Now, all of a sudden, now all of a sudden, you want us killing people and stuff. Proctor was like, look, a man got to do what a man got to do at this point, because at this point, if she testifies, it's going to implicate everybody. Like, we all going to go to jail. And I don't know if, well, I'll come back to that. Tasha and Keisha run into each other at the mall. Tasha trying to return stuff. Keisha shopping the store down. And, of course, Keisha is gloating it and all that good stuff. And she's enjoying, seeing Miss Tasha on her last leg. But then Keisha starts wanting to talk to her about Holly. And for a minute, it almost seems like they can ready to have a decent conversation for a minute. But then she asked her about Holly, and Tasha said, look, Holly just got in over her head. You be careful with Tommy. Make sure you don't get in over your head and end up like Holly. And she was like, well, what about Holly? Tell me about Holly, T. And Tasha was like, I don't know what happened to Holly. Which, of course, she did. And Keisha knows she's lying. So at that point, she was like, you know what? Forget it. Good luck. Hope you work it out. Hope you work your situation out, and I'm out of here. And, of course, Tasha is like, come on, Keisha, talk to me. And Keisha's like, whatever, deuces. So, just when Proctor thought he had solved his little problem, who come rolling up on him with the audio recording of him letting his wife die? It's Saxe. And, of course, Proctor's like, are you serious? Like, you have my house bugged? Like, really? And, Saxe is like, that is the least of your worries right now. Like, at the very least, your daughter will hate you. Like, I might not be able to put you in jail. I might not be able to convince anybody that you killed, you killed your wife. Like, she clearly OD'd. But at the end of the day, you won't have custody of your daughter, and your daughter will hate you because you let her mama die. Like, so now Proctor is really tripping, like, what am I going to do? Because they want him to testify. He was like, first of all, they want me to tell him. He's talking to his cousin now. First of all, they want me to tell them who killed Angela. And they are so convinced. So he's, really Saxe is so convinced that it's James. And I'm telling them that it's not Ghost. Like, it is not Ghost. It's Tommy. And I'm not going to snitch because, it's, of course, his cousin is like, well, what you going to do? Y'all know his cousin. The dude, the underground dude that we've seen throughout the series or whatever. And he was like, well, you're not going to be a snitch. Proctor was like, no, I'm not going to be a snitch, but I got to figure this out so that I can get out of this. Now, he told his cousin he wasn't going to be a snitch, but that's what he ended up doing. Now, he didn't put anything in writing. He didn't sign his name to any type of witness agreement, but he agreed. He said, if you get the indictment, then I'll testify. He was like, but it was Tommy. It wasn't Ghost that killed her. It was Tommy that killed Angela. And he was like, oh, they were working, here goes Saxe. Oh, so they were working in cahoots. He was like, no, Ghost didn't have anything to do with this. Ghost was clear. He was like, oh, well then, you can't help me. He was like, oh, I can't help you because I'm not going to tell the lie or spin the narrative the way you want it. He said, that's the truth and that's what it is. So, if you don't want to use me, then that's fine. Then I'm off the hook. And he going to tell him, no, you ain't off the hook yet. So my thing is, you said you weren't going to be a snitch, but you were a snitch. So I'm not clear. I'm not understanding. I'm a little confused at it. So he ends up moving in with Ghost. Okay? He goes to Ghost and said, look, I need, because they were talking about putting him in protective custody. And Proctor was like, yeah, hell nah, you can't protect nobody. You ain't putting me in no damn protective custody. But he ends up moving in with Ghost. And he gives Ghost a sob story about he got to testify against one of his other clients. And the man knows where he lives. And that his daughter's going through enough with the wife dying. And he just don't want to put, anyone. So, of course, the minute Ghost heard that the ex-wife died, Ghost was like, because at first he was like, I'm not running no stash house. Like, what are you doing? But he ends up convincing Ghost to let him stay there. Proctor gives his daughter. I'm just rolling through this. Okay, it's already been 19 minutes, and I still got a whole lot more show to go. So I'm rolling through this. A lot went down. Proctor ends up giving his daughter a locket, right? And y'all remember he had that computer, that hard drive that had the confessions. I don't remember all the specifics now, but basically it was enough to indict. It was enough to indict Ghost and Tommy. They both confessed to killing that agent, way back like in season 2 or something like that. I believe that's what's on that locket, because Proctor shows his daughter that inside the locket, he said that's Daddy's secret. He was like, so you got to hold on to Daddy's secret for him. And I was like, oh, that's kind of slick to put in a locket, because nobody would think that. I said, this poor little girl, everybody using her, poor baby. But anyway, so that's inside of the locket. Now, Tasha gets called down to choke. Somebody done snitched on Tariq, and I'm sure it was the girl that snitched on Tariq, because they told the dean where Tariq was hiding his drugs, and Tariq was like, it's baby aspirin. Like, that's all it is baby aspirin, because in his mind, they can't convict him because he wasn't selling no drugs, he was just selling baby aspirin. And the dean was like, yeah, but the people that you was selling them to, did they think it was baby aspirin? Tariq was like, no. And here go Tasha. Tasha gonna say, is there anything you can do? I mean, he's had a hard year. Is it, you can get him a second chance? Girl, do you know that they about to put your son in jail? Like, he got into a fight. Child, he got caught selling drugs on campus. Do you know how many felonies that is? Child. Ooh. The dean was like, he's expelled. Pending a further investigation. You can go on and pack up what you can carry now. We will send the rest of your stuff to you. I said, that is dog dirty dog. And when he was getting ready to leave, he looked at his chessboard, honey, and the queen was it the king? Y'all, I played chess, but I ain't played chess in a long time, so I know y'all will get me together. But either way, it was a checkmate on the board. Let me just put it that way. Checkmate was on the board. And he peeped it. Now, I don't know if he put it together or if he is going to believe that girl did him dirty, but he definitely peeped it. So, Tasha and Tommy meet up again. And Tasha is, basically telling Tommy, look, I'm really going to need your help. I'm going to need that money. Like, because I guess when Tommy didn't agree to let him launder the money, then she didn't take any money from him. But now he like, yeah, nah, Tasha's not going to let me, Keisha ain't going to let me do that. Because y'all, he told me about y'all little run-in. She's kind of pissed off. She ain't going to let me give you shit. And I ain't really trying to. She was like, Keisha doesn't have to know. Like, what are you talking about? He was like, I don't want to lie to her. And I'm thinking, damn, that is kind of messed up. Like, Tasha way longer than Keisha. And y'all been like dogs, like this. I did think that was kind of dirty that he wasn't going to give Keisha that daggone money. Give Tasha that money. So Tasha going to say, so what, she got you pussy? She was like, is the pussy that good? And then she said something about Holly. What'd she do that for? Honey, Tommy done put her ass out the car. He done put her ass out the car. I said, see? Tasha. So now Tasha is really like trying to figure out what she gonna do. Because on top of the fact that she don't have no money, for real no money, now she's got to worry about paying this dude off. And while they were talking, she mentioned the fact that Proctor was at the apartment with some luggage. So Tommy was like, what? What Proctor doing at the apartment? Oh, rewind. After they left Choke, Tasha then took Tariq to his daddy down to the penthouse. And the first thing out of Ghost's mouth when he see her get off the elevator, what you doing here? Like, you ain't, like, you're not allowed to be here. And he was like, and your name not even on the list anymore. She was like, yeah, but your son's is. And you tell him why you here. And basically he has to tell him that he got expelled from school. And he's still being an asshole. Like, he is still being an ass. He was like, what you mean you got expelled from school? She was like, yeah, your son got caught selling drugs. And he told him the same thing that all of us have been saying. Why are you selling drugs? You don't have to. Like, your parents sold drugs to give you a better life, so you would not have to do that. And he threw it back in their face. He was like, well, it looks like drugs did right by you. Got you this nice penthouse, got you that nice outfit you wearing, Ghost. And Ghost was really about to whoop his ass. Tasha stopped him. But I think if Tariq was ever going to get an ass whooping, it was about to be in that moment. Um, and that's when that's when Tasha saw that Proctor was there with the luggage and stuff like that. And, she ends up leaving like, well, since I'm not allowed to be here. And that's the other thing that she was bitching to Tommy about, she made that house a home and she this and she that. And I'm thinking to myself, you asked for the divorce. Like, I'm not saying she shouldn't have. I'm not saying she didn't have good reason to want a divorce. But you asked for that divorce. So you had to know that your lifestyle was going to change. That your money was going to be funny. Like, you had to know things were going to be different when you decided you asked for the divorce. You did it. Knowing you had a prenup. Now, I don't know what in the hell made you think you was going to break that prenup. But you knew you had a prenup. And you asked for the divorce. But anyway. So that was part of the argument that her and, not argument, that was part of what she talked to Tommy about. But when it was all over said and done, honey, Tommy done put her ass out the car. So Tasha rolls up to the daycare and she lets old boy know, look, he's standing there waiting for his money. And she like, look, I ain't got no money for you. And he was like, well, that's a shame. She said, but look, me and you need to do some business together. She said, I done my research on you. I know you moving weight in this neighborhood. And I'm just saying that I can help you. And he was like, well, what you trying to say? She was like, I'm saying that this is a business meeting and let's figure some business out. So he was like, he said something about the daycare. She was like, you don't know me. You don't know what I can do. So he gives her some drugs and he was like, look, if you move these, then we'll see what we can talk about. So she ends up calling the stripper. And basically says to her, look, let's do some business together. So I guess she going to get the stripper to sell the drugs at the strip club and give her a cut of the profits. It's all about the game. Now, Tommy done snuck into the witness's apartment because Proctor done gave Tommy the address to where the witness was. He done snuck into the witness's apartment. But just as he's coming in the apartment, the witness is coming through with Sachs. And so Tommy hides in the closet. And Sachs is talking to her about changing her story and how she can't change her story because it's not going to look good. And they know she took the money from Ghost. And he tells her, he said, but that's okay because I have another witness anyway. Proctor's going to testify. So, of course, Tommy was like, Proctor? Like that dirty, that rat, blah, blah, blah. So he ends up killing the witness. After Sachs leaves, he ends up shooting the witness straight up in the head. Takes the money, because the money was laying there. He takes the money that Ghost gave her. The envelope was still laying there. Later on, Ghost comes through. He sees that she's dead, but he picks up the envelope, because I'm sure the envelope still had his handwriting on it or anything. I'm sure it could have incriminated him, but he took the envelope. Now, while he done snuck into the apartment to get up old girl, while Ghost I'm talking about, Tommy then went over to Ghost's apartment because they used, remember when he had his inside man in the courtroom? They used him to call Proctor, right? And they were trying to pull Proctor out. And he was like, I need to talk to you. Like, they asking a lot of questions down at the courthouse. I need to talk to you. And Proctor was like, I can't meet you right now. I'm staying somewhere and I can't come out right now. And he was like, well, where are you? I can come to you. He was like, I'm down in Tribeca. I can't get to you. Just, chill out for a couple of days and we'll figure it out. So they called Tommy. They end up killing the dude. But they called Tommy, and when Tommy heard Tribeca, he was like, I know where he is. So he knows that Proctor's still at the apartment. So Tommy calls Tariq. So Tariq answers the phone. I can explain, Uncle Tommy. I can explain. He was like, oh, you're going to explain to me why you was still selling drugs and got put out of school? Yeah, we're going to have that conversation another day. But today what you about to do is, who's at the apartment? And I want to say he asked if Ghost was there. I don't remember him asking about Proctor at all. But all he said was, you leave. He said, I need you to open up that back door. The servant's entrance to the penthouse. I need you to turn the alarm off. I need you to leave the door open. And I need you to get the hell up out of there. And just as Tariq is getting ready to leave, he hears Proctor's daughter crying. She's looking at pictures of her mom and she's crying. So when Tariq sees her, Tariq's like, look, let's go get some ice cream. He's real sweet to the little girl. And at first she's like, I don't like ice cream. He was like, what about hot chocolate? Do you like hot chocolate? Like, let's go get some hot chocolate. So he ends up getting her out of the apartment. Proctor is still there. Honey, Tommy comes through the door with a damn semi-automatic, whatever. I'm not a gun expert. All I know was he shot that penthouse up to hell. Anything that was glass is shattered. He done tore up the kitchen. He done tore up all the doors. Because him and Proctor had a shootout to end all shootouts. And Proctor doesn't know his daughter is not there. So his main goal, because his cousin gave him a gun. So he does have a gun and he's shooting back at Tommy. You know he ain't never hit Tommy. He done shot at Tommy, but none of the bullets hit. And so he's shooting up the damn apartment. And Proctor's trying to get to the bedroom to get to his daughter. He gets to the bedroom and his daughter is not there. And he ends up calling his daughter. She answers the phone and tells him that she went to go get hot chocolate and that, I know I wasn't supposed to leave without telling you, but, Tariq was bringing me or whatever. So Proctor was like, okay. And at that point, Tommy is coming through the door. Proctor out of bullets, so he know he about to die. And he's doing the whole I love you, daddy loves you thing. And he was like, get to Uncle whoever's house. His cousin. The dude that, the criminal dude. He was like, get to her. You go to him. And his daughter knew what was up. Like, I don't know. I don't recall if she actually heard the shooting or if she just knew what went down. But she definitely knew, that her daddy, she know her daddy gone. She knows that her daddy is gone. And so Ghost comes back to the apartment. And of course he's looking for Tariq. Rewind. Tariq then dropped off them drugs to Vincent that he cut with the baby aspirin. Because he wasn't just selling baby aspirin on campus. He also delivered those drugs to Vincent. Honey, Vincent done scooped his ass up after Tariq actually took the little girl to the cousin's house. And while he's standing out there, Vincent had followed his ass out there. And as soon as he dropped that little girl off, they rolled up on him and was like, so, Tariq, we got a problem. Like, you fucking with my business. And so Ghost gets to his apartment. The apartment is shot up and he finds out that Proctor's dead because Proctor was dead, shot to hell. But now he's worried about Tariq. He's like, where's my son? He gets a phone call from Tariq. His first clue that something was wrong was that Tariq called him dad. Because Tariq ain't called him dad since season 3, okay? He been Ghost for the last 3 seasons. So the fact that he called him dad should have been his first indicator that something wasn't right. Tommy gets a text from Tariq, 911, Uncle Tommy, I need to meet you. So they end up meeting down to the docks. And when they get down to the docks, they see each other. And, Tommy, of course, is like, oh, I should have known this was a setup. Ghost like, I ain't set you up. I got the phone call from the same person you got a phone call from. And Vincent was like, he comes out of the shadows with his henchman. He was like, no, I set y'all up. He was like, your son, your godson, he fucking with my business. And because of that, he owes me $2 million. And Ghost was like, ain't no way in hell he'd have messed up your business $2 million worth. He said, no, you're right. That's the interest that I'm charging y'all for the inconvenience. He was like, y'all got till tomorrow to figure it out. Tariq up in the back somewhere with the gun to his back or whatever. And Tommy and Ghost are standing there like, what in the hell? You know what I mean? And that is pretty much how it went down, y'all. So we're going to see how this thing works out. I'm bittersweet on it because this episode was bittersweet for me. Some things happened that needed to happen, but then some other things, you still playing with me a little bit, y'all. Y'all still playing with my intelligence a little bit, but it's all good. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.